episode of The Bottom Line. As usual, we're 3 weeks late.
Are we?
I think we are.
Okay. Anyway, we're not late on the topic though.
Great.
The NDA on the new RTX graphics card just lifted, so we have reviews. So before we get started, this episode, as always, The Bottom Line is brought to you by BLACKBOX Workstations. So BLACKBOX Workstations are custom-made workstations built to suit your exact requirement, whatever type of work you're doing. So we have a full range of BLACKBOX systems starting at about 160,000 for all kinds of work. So we'll have it customized, specified for your exact workload and your exact budget. So if you have a requirement, come speak to us and we'll sort you out.
So where do we start?
We have reviews, and how do we put this? They aren't disappointing in terms of performance. They're very fast graphics cards.
Yes.
A little bit disappointing in terms of price.
Yeah, I mean, this is literally where we are rehashing what you said last time.
Yes.
So we were on the ball about pricing, and we were pretty on the ball about performance as well. I mean, So I was hoping that I was wrong, but I wasn't. So
yes, we were.
Apparently the 2080
is trades goes maybe slightly faster than a 1080 Ti. So we'll have a few benchmarks put up here. Slightly faster than a 1080 Ti.
And the 2080 Ti, which is the only card that we thought was actually interesting because it was by far the fastest card Nvidia has put out, at 4K resolutions is between 25 to 40% faster, which is it's a big deal. Although given that its specifications it had like 4,300 CUDA cores.
Yeah, it was expected
to be about 40% faster. But isn't impressive is the launch prices. We are looking at $1,000 plus pricing, $1,000 plus, actually 1,200.
1,200 for pretty much.
So the messy thing here is that that's supposed to be the Founders Edition launch price, but we've gotten pretty much the same pricing from all of our FOB partners.
Yeah, and so like all the other cards cost more than 1,200.
Yeah.
And for the 2080 is the more disappointing one actually. Now it's supposed to cost like $700. Right?
Was it 800?
800 was the Founders Edition. Pretty much all. Yeah.
Was it?
800, right?
Wasn't it 1,200 for the 2080 Ti and 1,000 for the Founders Edition, or 900 for the Founders Edition?
No, it was 700.
I'm so confused. Anyway,
pretty much all the partner cards are closer to $900, $850 to $900. So
that's anywhere you can go onto Amazon, Newegg, check it out. It's $850, I think, lowest.
They're starting at about $820, $830.
Yeah, and
Founders Edition cards are $800. That's what I remember. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, making a Founders Edition card a good buy if you can somehow manage to order it directly off Nvidia.
Right now, we checked with multiple partners. No one has Founders Edition cards, so I think Nvidia is just selling them through their channel only.
Yeah, so that means you as a Sri Lankan, your only option is to get it directly off Amazon or Newegg or Kapruka or one of these third-party sellers trying to get it directly from the Nvidia website. But as it is, we don't think that we'll be able to get down Founders Edition cards, at least for now.
We'll try. We'll keep trying though.
We've already placed an order for third-party cards though.
Yes,
so we should be getting cards in by what, 2 weeks?
Next week? No?
By next week. Okay, so by next week, very high chance we'll probably be the first store.
We already put up a pre-order for a few cards because availability is limited.
Yeah.
Right. So we're only getting a handful of cards. So we've already put up a pre-order. So if you want a card, please feel free to order. Place a down payment, and then we'll have a card reserved for you. So with that, get into the local pricing.
Yeah, we have a few problems with that. Like one is the fact that, as you probably know, the rupee's been floating over the last couple of weeks.
As of today, it's almost 170.
Yeah, so we started off at about 162, 161 actually a few weeks ago.
So we started off the year at like 155.
Yeah, so we are well past 10%. We are in the 15% to 20% inflation area as far as like the dollar to rupee conversions rate. So that really affects pricing. We really wanted to sell these cards, I would say below 240, below 175, preferably. But by the looks of it, the first batch, at least according to the pricing we are getting, we are going to have to sell them at about close to 180 and 250.
Yes. So expect the 2080 cards, the aftermarket cards, to cost anywhere from 170 to 200.
Yeah. That's
Actually, no. Palette is probably the cheapest card
we're going to get. And we get it directly from the manufacturer. So
180 to 200.
At least. I mean, we got some pretty horrendous pricing from Asus. We're not even going to share that here. So we're trying to work with them, try to get you good prices on it. So hopefully an Asus or a Gigabyte or an MSI card hopefully shouldn't be too much more expensive than a Palette card. But by the looks of it, it might be.
It might at least cost 190 for, like, say, MSI Gaming X Trio or a
Yeah.
G1 card, 190 to 200.
And
Not great.
yeah,
but
250 plus. So we are going like the
250
260,
plus, exactly.
maybe 270 range for maybe like a third party card that's not a valid card.
It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. That's putting us, into Titan
When
XP
it's a third
territory.
party card like the premium cards, the triple fan, overclocked RGB,
Yeah.
all that will probably cost
Still,
about 270.
I mean, we have sold a few Titan X's and Titan XPs at Redline, but those were always at the 275,000 price point when the dollar was low too. And there were a few guys who, but at the same time back then, the Titan XP only brought like what, 10% to the table. So you
True.
couldn't justify going from like
True.
150 to
Like,
270.
exactly.
Now we
But-
have a 40% improvement.
So if someone wants like the fastest available card, someone dropping $500,000 on a gaming PC, maybe consider it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I ever pictured like we'd ever like pitch the card, but I know there are a bunch of you out there who are gonna
Exactly.
bite. Some of you have been in touch with me. Some of you
Exactly. A few people have been in touch. So
and
if
I know you
will-
guys are gonna buy the card.
If you
And
want, get the 2080 Ti. 2080
it's definitely the better card.
better card.
But yeah,
2080.
awesome.
If you want RTX series card and maybe look forward to the whatever is coming out in the future, then I guess.
Yeah, so pretty much everything we
Hard
wanted
to recommend.
Yeah, we wanted to cover about the actual differences between the cards. We covered in our
Actually
previous
covered in the
video.
previous video.
So what we're going to talk about today, I think, is we'll just briefly run over we went over the reviews pretty much,
Yeah.
right? And the biggest problem right now is that the cards perform pretty much how they were expected, and they have a bunch of bonuses added on, right? Like right now, the cards have a bunch of CUDA cores, and as far as we know, it's these CUDA cores that just gives us this gaming performance that we're looking at, and that's where it kind of compares to a 1080 Ti and above, right? But what we're looking at right now is they also come with a couple of additional packages. So they've got the RT cores and they've got Tensor cores. And the RT cores and Tensor cores aren't even like the same thing. There's literally two different clusters on the card. So the RT does the ray tracing and the Tensor cores does the AI. So the AI can be used anything from maybe in the future, can be used for, I don't know, games, can offload
Offload
their
their
character AI to it,
that,
and DLSS, super sampling, all kinds of AI assisted imaging techniques can be using the Tensor cores, have nothing to do with the RT cores. So the issue is day one, no game
We
supported
get
out the
nothing.
box. Like nothing.
We get nothing,
Like we didn't even get like a demo
Not
from
even like a demo you could like
yeah,
download
I think
and
that was
play.
Battlefield 5 demo. No, that was the Star Wars.
That's it,
Yeah. So there are literally no games right now that you can go in and test anything outside of your regular gaming performance on, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah. So, okay, looking at it, if you are purchasing a new system, like say you have a 9 series card,
Yeah.
then maybe consider this. 2080 Ti is a difference, sorry, the 2080 mainly. If you have something like a 1080 or a 1080 Ti,
Yeah,
might
really
not
no
be the
reason to
best.
upgrade at all, at least in our opinion. Like I feel like you guys have gotten a great card if you're on a 1070, 1080,
Yeah,
1080 Ti.
like a 1080 Ti on current games on 4K, like you're saying, you can hit 50 FPS.
It's pretty impressive. Check out the benchmarks and you'll find that the 1080 Ti with all the latest drivers,
Yeah, like on
pretty
Battlefield
much
5, you get like 60 plus FPS on 4K.
on 4K,
On
at
4K,
ultra,
at ultra settings.
at full
So-
ultra settings.
And I think like Forza Horizon 4 is like an amazing looking game. Like the demo runs at like 75 FPS on 4K.
So this is at 4K. So I was a little surprised when I saw this because I remember back when like the 1080 Ti launched and the drivers were a little a little bit beta and they weren't fully fledged and fully matured. This is like what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And the games were running, but they were running like between 40 to 50 FPS, and some games were dropping down to about 35, 40. Now we have pretty much a consistent 40 FPS plus
Yeah,
on
exactly.
all games with 1080 Ti, which is pretty damn. I mean, what more could you ask for, right? Like
60
like
FPS.
60
Like
FPS is
144
possible.
4K monitors exist.
So that kind of tells you what kind of performance you can expect out of the 2080 Ti. I mean, I didn't think I'd ever see this, but we actually saw some AAA titles running at 100 FPS plus
4K.
at 4K on
is
Ultra,
pretty
which is pretty damn amazing. So that means we're there. Like we're here. Like 4K, we're officially into 4K
high
gaming.
refresh rate 4K
We're there.
gaming is a thing.
So
man.
I hope gaming 4K monitor prices come down. But as of now, the fact that you can probably pick up a 4K monitor for around, we're trying to get down a monitor for between 60 to 70K.
60
I think.
70,000, yeah.
Amazing. Like 60 to 70K, get a monitor, get a 2080, you're done. I mean the 2080 was pushing 50 to 60
Yeah,
FPS
exactly.
on most games, right? And if you're a nutter and you have either an 8K screen at home or you're trying to like go
along this
infinity
4K 144 Hz monitor.
yeah,
So
something.
That's why it's at-
maybe the 2080 Ti, but I would really like to see people not walk in and pick a 2080 Ti with like a 2K
give me
or a
give me
2K
full
high
HD monitor.
refresh rate.
Give me a 2070 full HD
I'm telling you
monitor.
right now, the 2K high refresh, like 2K is not a resolution you want a game with a 2080 Ti on. Like you could buy it if you want a future-proof card, but the card's heavily bottlenecked at that like resolution. It doesn't have any room to like stretch its legs over a 2080. It gives you like 20% better performance at.
I guess if you want to like max out everything at 144 FPS on 2K, maybe a 2080 Ti.
Maybe, but I don't think that's a great investment. Like, yeah, I mean, you're looking at like what, an extra 70 to 80,000 bucks. I mean,
a lot of money.
You could probably put that into a better monitor. So
yes.
I would do that, but that's just me. You guys can do you. I feel like we're definitely going to sell out on the cards when we get them. I know that for a fact. But it's a lot of money to drop on a card.
Yes.
I never thought I'd look at a game and be like, you know what, you could make use of a 270,000 and that guy's just playing games, right? So it's gonna take some getting used to. People tell us.
Well, you'll have to get used to expensive hardware because the dollar is
the dollar's rumored to go to 175 soon. Someone else from the industry, from a bank-related industry, in the bank industry, has told us that it may go up to about 190, 195, which is horrible news.
So another reason to buy stuff as soon as possible.
If you guys have been like, okay, I'm sure like the dollar's gonna come back down, it's not. It's not. This is not like some temporary thing where it's gonna go up to 175 and this is permanent. If it goes up to 190, 195, it's permanent. That means if you want to buy high-end hardware, get in now because like every day
like
it's going up.
Actually, a lot of people have been asking like when is like a 2060 coming out, 2050.
A long time away.
So if you want a card in that range, like a 2060 would probably cost at least 80,000-90,000, right?
And with the dollar rate right
now,
now,
it might be higher. Or like say if you're waiting for a 50,000 rupee card, we'd recommend getting a current gen card right now.
Definitely.
Because they are at the old dollar price and like say you can get a 1070 for 90,000 right now. So get it now instead of waiting another 6 months. You get it and you enjoy your games today as well.
Just so you know, we went to a dealer meet recently and we pretty much got confirmation that there are no more 20 series cards besides the 2070 coming out.
2070 probably towards Christmas.
Probably launch towards in a month or two. Asus had like leaked out a few of the actual card models. They have a dual turbo and a Strix coming out.
2 months is probably you're looking at this.
Yeah, but just keep in mind it's confirmed. No 2060s, no 2050s, nothing this year.
They haven't announced anything.
Yeah, we don't even know if they're going to come out next year, and if they are, it's probably a long way off. And like you said, now that the pricing is like what 1,200, 1,000, God knows where like the 2070 or the 2060 is going to launch at. We're not looking at any attractive options. Hopefully, AMD have something cooking in the back.
Hopefully. All right. So wrapping this up, final verdict. If you have a lot of money, get a 2080. I mean, like, okay.
If you have a 4K TV and you have maybe you're a generation or two behind and you just want to buy currently the best card to give you the best gaming performance at 4K, not a pixel less than 4K. It has to be 4K, not 2K wide angle, not 2K ultra wide.
I like high refresh rates, so maybe at 2K 145.
A 1080 would comfortably handle 2K high refresh rate.
1080 Ti, okay, fine.
Right, like so you don't need to drop 250K plus.
Probably not.
Buy it if you're an avid 4K gamer. You've got a great 4K display. You've spent like 100K plus on your display, and make sure it's 4K because we have 100K plus 2K displays also.
Yes.
Then a 2080 Ti is a good buy. 2080. Pretty much a disappointment. I'd love to maybe do another video and cover all of the cool stuff that potentially can be done with the RT and the Tensor cores in a future episode. But since we have nothing right now, there's no point talking about it.
Yes.
What's your verdict?
Pretty much the same. Like I would say, if you want the best, then the 2080 Ti is the card to get. And the 2080, if you were from the 10 series, then don't.
If you have a 1080 Ti,
1080
definitely don't.
1080 also, maybe not.
Maybe not.
If you're from older generation, maybe if you have like a 1070 maybe and you want a faster card, maybe consider at that point.
Well, we were thinking about this. We're looking to try and get down 1080 Ti's, hopefully while they're still in production.
Yeah,
and
if we can find like clearance price somewhere.
Yeah, and get you guys prices where.
And if you can get a 1080 Ti
at 20K less, 25K.
Yeah, if you can get it for like 150. Right now they're going at 165.
Yeah.
But if you can get it for like 150, that'll be.
It's a great buy. Buy the 1080 Ti. That's definitely. You get more VRAM. You get a faster card in some games, but more or less the same. More or less the same power draw. A lot of the third-party cards actually draw more power than a 1080 Ti on the 2080. The 2080 on paper has 210 watts, but it actually goes well above 250. So yeah, 1080 Ti would get my vote if you can get it at a good price.
Yes.
Second hand even better if you
ask me. All right, so that's about it for this episode. So as always, the audio recording equipment provided by Digital Ear. So
thank you.
Big thank you to them, and they're at the same location as us. So feel free to drop by. They have some cool audio stuff on display, so you can check them out. And yeah,
We'll catch you on the next one.